guys, what's up? It's Ari, and I can officially say that I am all done with my first semester of college, which feels fabulous. And since I attend an art school, I thought it'd be really interesting to show you guys everything that I've made this semester. I kind of want to do this every semester just to see the improvement. But anyway, let's get started. Okay, so my first major assignment was for Core Studio. This class was really difficult for me because you're supposed to experiment with a lot of different medias. And I went into SAIC only thinking I can only do things related to camera work, so photography and filmmaking. That is pretty much all I've ever done and all I've ever known. So this class terrified me. And so for our first assignment, we were supposed to create things, and that scared me. I'm just gonna go straight to the catalog format of everything. So we were supposed to make a catalog about issues we were passionate about. And for me, it was healthcare. So then we were supposed to come up with what about that issue do you want to fix? And I was like, well, trying to get free healthcare seems impossible, so that seems difficult. And then it started to make me think about COVID. You know, not everyone can afford to get tested. I mean, there are free testing sites, but I wanted to come up with a product that could help people test for COVID at home. That's kind of the final product, and that's the catalog. It was just the entire process, the entire documentation of my practice. I used Canva because my computer at the time was broken, so I couldn't use my computer, so I used my iPad, which was a lot of work because typing on your iPad creates a lot of typos because the letters are smaller. Yeah, it was a mess and a half, but I got it done and my teacher really liked it. So the next class that I had a project for was for my research class, and this one was called Collected Writings, Photos, and Drawings. Yeah, so basically for 1 week we were asked to take 3 photos a day, write 1 page a day, and draw 1 thing every day, which I don't like to draw because, again, I only use cameras. And so that was a bit of a struggle for me, but I did it anyway. So yeah, I'll just kind of walk through the photographs that I took. So the first photo was of this alleyway. So obviously you're not supposed to go down an alleyway in Chicago, and I know that, and I didn't. I literally am on the opposite side, and I used my camera to zoom in, and I got that photograph. And honestly, it's really fun. It's really interesting because I really like the contrast that it created, so I just edited it in black and white because I love the high contrast. And then the next one was of pigeons. So I have a fear of pigeons. I have a fear of birds. I don't like birds, but I respect them enough to you have your space, I have mine, you know? So don't bother me and I won't bother you. But then I saw all of them and I was like, you know what? This makes an interesting photograph. I wanted to get one of them flying, but when pigeons fly, I flinch. So we got this. And then we have just your basic Chicago street in black and white again. Then, so during the Mexico's Independence Day, there's celebrations. And so we went to that because my roommate wanted to go, and I was like, heck yeah, experiencing other cultures. I love that. And it was beautiful and fun. So I took some fun photographs. So yeah, that's another one of Independence Day. That's a little bit harder to see, but I wanted to get more of the buildings lit up because I just think that's so beautiful. And then we have this photograph, which really isn't my favorite. It was during golden hour, obviously, and I just kind of liked the glowing train. But other than that, I'm not a big fan of it. It's just kind of meh. The hearts building, I thought it was cute. There's not much to it. And then this was right by the Riverwalk. I don't know, I really like Chicago buildings, or I really like tall buildings in general. More Riverwalk building photos. Again, I also don't really like this photograph all that much. I just needed, I think it was the 3rd one that night that I was like, hey look, glowing trees, I'll take a picture of that. And then this one is actually one of my favorites. It's someone just playing saxophone on the street late at night. And then this is of my friend Renata. She's in my research class, and I just really like this photograph because of how glowy the buildings are and contrast with the figure. I think that was interesting. And then this is also Renata and I just dancing in the streets of Chicago. Like, it's so funny because you can do this and nobody really thinks anything of it. And then here's another one. She actually asked me to send this one to her, and I did because it was like one of her favorite photographs that she had taken, and it's a picture of her taking it. And then this one, it's just kind of like a meh photograph to me too. I like the sunset, but that's about it. This one, this is just from flowers. I just thought we gotta add some flowers in there. I don't know. I just thought they were pretty, and I liked the way that the light was hitting them and the contrast. So I was like, heck yeah, I'll take some pictures with some lights. And then this one was my favorite. I just liked how like dark all the other buildings and areas were, and then this one just kind of like stood out. I thought that that was interesting, and I really liked it. And then this one, I just really like the guy on the bicycle and the train. I just felt like it really captured Chicago transportation really well. And then this one was really fun because this was also the same day that I was with Renata. There was this woman, I think they were filming a music video, and so she was dancing in the streets, and I just thought it was so beautiful. And I wanted to capture her dancing, but I don't think I did that well of a job, but I just loved that moment. Yeah, and this guy's bicycle, I don't know what exactly it is. I liked the, bandanas, flag, I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool, and so I was like, well, so I just took a picture. That was fun. My drawings aren't very good. Yeah, and then also I wrote my 7 pages, but I'm not going to read you that just because I don't think that's really all that interesting. Okay, so for my photography class, we were asked to take 100 photos using our iPhones and then pick 20 which we liked. So the first one is of my friend Ben, kind of staring at the window. This one was taken accidentally. Then the next thing, my shoes flying in the air, visit the city. It was scary. It was foggy. More shoes. I was like, I thought this was just like a cool angle to take it. So the train, I don't know if it's called a subway in Chicago, but anyway. Then we have this statue. I thought it was cool, so I just kind of took a picture. And then more transportation, because there's a lot of bicycles in Chicago. Then this building was cool. It curved, and I was like, I've never seen a curvy building before. And then I saw more people walking. Like, it is a city for walking. I thought that was pretty cool. And then like food is important. A fun fact about me is I have always had an addiction to french fries, like then chicken wings. More people walking, thought this was cool. And then this one, I just needed more photographs, to be completely honest. And then we passed a Catholic church. So I did not grow up Catholic, I grew up Presbyterian. But sorry, the exterior of Catholic churches are so freaking pretty. Like, this one is gorgeous and I loved it. So I was like, hey, let me take some pictures of a cross. I'm a Christian, love the cross. And then this one was really cool. It's like, oh Jesus, I just really loved the architecture. I do not want to be an architect, but I appreciate good architecture. And then these are just some flags that I thought were cool because, like, America, you know, we're in Chicago, we're American. I really like this building. I thought it was just like, it kind of just gave me like really old-timey vibes. And then this one's just, it's not that interesting, but it's like on my way to like classes and stuff. And then instead of my roommate walking, we went to go explore the city together, and I just really like this photograph because it was like rainy and like, I don't know, it's fun. And then this is like the street that my school is on, Wabash, and I really liked that it divided the photos. As I mentioned before, core was difficult because I don't know how to do anything that's not related to cameras. So don't judge this next project. But anyway, we were supposed to create a found objects sculpture. So basically we're supposed to take 2 pieces that wouldn't go together and make them go together. So I took this glass jar from like a lemonade thing that my school sells. I mean, my old Birkenstocks. Haha, let's make a high heel, but it's glass because of like Cinderella. So yeah, ha ha ha. So that's what I made. It's not good. Alright, so my next assignment was for my research class, which was an interesting one because we were supposed to take drawings, the photographs, and writings and create something new based off of that. But I didn't really want to throw them away and start completely over. I mean, at first I did because I wanted to create a film, but then my film ended up flopping for various reasons. And because of that, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. So instead, I decided to create a catalog because I really liked my first one. So I took all of the photographs and the writings and added a few more and just a catalog talking about my whole experience in Chicago. So the next assignment was in photography. Photography was probably my easiest course this semester. It was just super introductory, and I had taken 2 photography classes, one in high school my sophomore year and one in 7th grade. Everything that I had already learned in both of those 2 classes combined into a college course. And so the next assignment was us playing with the settings on our cameras. Just with ISO, shutter speed, and aperture. We were supposed to pick one object and like change one of those settings each time. But I chose this Chicago sign because it was literally right outside my dorm. And yeah, you can just see all the various ways I played with the settings. So the next assignment was not something I'm really proud of. I was just really stressed with my other classes, like especially my academic classes mainly. It's like, I'm not really proud of this. It's just kind of like a meh assignment, if that makes sense. So I just made a bow. We were supposed to use a sewing machine, and I used crumpled, like a bag of like chicken nuggets or something, and cut it up. So that's pretty much it. It's nothing special. It's just like a soft sculpture. I didn't really like it. Okay, so my next one was a really fun one for me. It was like another collecting / composition thing, but this time it was supposed to be whatever you wanted it to be. Like, it could be physical objects or it could be videos and sounds, and that's exactly what I did. I just would take my phone everywhere because I'm a teenage girl, and with that I just collected a bunch of sounds, and then I would go out and just take my camera or sometimes just my phone and just record whatever, and just created a short film off of it. And if you guys want to go see that, it's on my YouTube channel. So like I said, my photography course was really easy and some of the assignments were not very fun for me, but that's fine. Anyway, so the next one is called Playing with Light. We were supposed to figure out ways of creating emotion out of an egg, and I was like, I would just rather do this with portraiture, like create, like using light to create emotion with like one expressionless face, and then just play around with lighting. I feel like that'd be so fun. But so these are some of my egg photos. I don't know if I created emotion necessarily, but I played with light a lot, and it was hard just trying to come up with ideas. And then the next part of the assignment was we were supposed to take a photograph of one thing with at different hours throughout the day. So I just went outside my window. So yeah, and then it ended up being foggy, so that worked out really well. And then it was a clear, and then it was like closer to sunset, and then it was like after sunset, like yeah, and just kind of played around with that. So that was actually more fun than the egg photo for me. But so this one was actually one of my favorite projects for core. It was our final found objects project, and try saying that 5 times fast. Anyway, so this one was really fun. It actually inspired another project for next semester. So I'm just gonna shamelessly promote myself, but you should go follow my art Instagram account because I post some of my favorites. And also I tend to update my story quite a bit about projects that I'm working on, so you should definitely go check that out. Anyway, back to this project. So I wanted to create something that represents what it's like to be a Black woman in America, and I know I really don't ever make race-based pieces, and I'm gonna make probably one more next semester, so deal with it. Anyway, so I took a bunch of note cards and I wrote on each note card on all like things that people have said to women of color, and then people have said to just women. So it was kind of like a sexism, racism type combination piece. Yeah, I just used, so my school gave us last year like these, I don't know what they're called, but they're like rolls. And so I wrote all these things on a roll and taped them onto that roll, and so then it was like a performance piece kind of, because I like kept rolling it up because there were things that like don't sound as bad to like worse things, and I just kind of kept rolling it up and rolling it down, rolling it up and rolling it down, rolling it up and rolling it down. And yeah, that's just kind of that project. Okay, so the next assignment was for research, and it was called Riffing and Collaborating. So with this project, we were supposed to find an artist that we were inspired by or that we liked, and then tried to create an artwork based off of their piece. You're not supposed to recreate their piece, you're supposed to find a new way of like making it your own. And then you're supposed to collaborate with another student, but like because of COVID, we were basically supposed to introduce each other's project for the critique and then be the first one to critique it. Yes, so the artist that I chose was Jackson Pollock, and this is my inspired piece by him. So the way I made it my own is that Jackson Pollock really just worked on building it up and building it up and building it up. I would scrape mine away using like a palette knife. Let me see if I can show you where I like scrape and stuff. So I would like scrape mine using like a palette knife and then keep building it up. The one critique that I got for this was I should have like built it up more and almost created some sort of sculpture, like, you know, like make it like big, but which I like definitely want to try next semester for sure for one of my projects. Okay, so my next project was actually my favorite one for photography, and it was the portraits and self-portraits assignment. And I really liked the portraits that I took and submitted for this assignment. My first photograph, it's of my roommate, and yeah, I just really liked the way the colors like popped with this photograph. And then this one's a self-portrait. I honestly, okay, here's something you're gonna realize is all of my self-portraits are kind of trash. Like, I don't like taking self-portraits. I feel really uncomfortable in self-portraits. Then after this is a photograph. It was in the subway of the Red Line. I just really like it. I really like the way I edited it too, and just the colors like popping, and just a really sad self-portrait. I don't like my self-portraits at all. It fit the assignment, you know? And then this is a portrait that I did of my friend Isabel. This one, I really liked this photo shoot a lot. I might try to shoot with her again. Self-portrait. I was really trying to capture like isolation and just loneliness. How there's like 3 windows but only one is being occupied. It's not my favorite. I don't like it. And then this one is of my friend Jenna. I just really liked the tall grass. Like, I really liked the bokeh effect that came along with it, and I just thought it was just like a fun photograph. It's like kind of sassy, I think. I don't know. And then here is another self-portrait, which is just trash. I was trying to capture like getting a smile in a mask. I don't know. That's it. I honestly just seen another photograph, but I kind of liked the reflection of my sleeve in the table, so that's also kind of why I took it. And then this one is actually one of my favorites. It's from a photo shoot that I'm gonna try to edit, because I didn't edit it just because I really liked it not edited. I just really like the like mysteriousness of it, and it reminds me of like futuristic like 70s vibe in a sense, like futuristic, like what the 70s would have thought that like 2020 like would have looked, if that makes sense. And then this is my final self-portrait. This self-portrait doesn't make me want to cry, so because I really liked it. I actually saw this TikTok of someone using ACD as like a way of reflecting, and then I went to my friend Yoav's room and I was like, hey, can you help me with this assignment? And then he was like, there is no way this is gonna work. And I was like, I said that it would. And yeah, with that, those are my portraits. Okay, so my final project for core was a public art proposal presentation, and I didn't like it because, like I said, I really just wanted to do something where I could use a camera, but I didn't this semester, but hopefully next semester looks a little bit different, so I'm excited for that. Anyways, so I was really inspired by the Vietnam Memorial. I thought, like the Veterans Memorial, I just thought it was really interesting, and I thought like having the tangibility of like the names was really important, and so I wanted to create a like sculpture that was like 2020 that had like names of people who had died of COVID-19, and because I'm sorry, but I'm not happy with how our country has handled this pandemic. I think we definitely could have done better, and perhaps over 300,000 people wouldn't be dead because of it. And so I wanted to kind of create a memorial to talk about that. And I wanted this to be a political piece because it's okay to make art that's political. And yeah, so that's just kind of my presentation. It's nothing like crazy special, because it's not like a super brand new idea or anything like that, but I just thought it was important. So I think you're like starting to figure out, like, it's less so common this year, but in my previous works, like, I like to work with darker topics and I like to push boundaries and stuff like that in art because I think it's important. So my research class was a really fun class for me to just kind of start experimenting outside of film and photography, because I started kind of gravitating towards painting a little bit, abstract painting, make that very clear. And so for our last assignment, we were just supposed to create something fun, like with all the stress that's going on with like COVID and, you know, our school year not looking like any other year. We were just supposed to make art. And so this piece I titled The Calm Before the Storm. It's a massive painting. Yeah, and this is my abstract painting. So the bottom kind of looks like this for me. So I'm going to tell you what I thought it meant and what other people have interpreted it to be, and that's exactly how I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be interpreted any way you saw fit, but I wanted it to be how before COVID, like this is pre-COVID, like life was bright, vibrant, and crazy, like hectic, you know, but like hectic in a good, happy way. You could see friends, you could do whatever, and then as COVID hit, it just got darker and darker. And like this is kind of the middle area of when we knew of COVID, but we did not, like right here, we didn't know this like severity of it and how much it would interrupt this life, so that this life would just turn black. But my mom, when she saw it, she thought it was like the ocean and like the tall grass at the ocean, and like the different colors before a sunset on the water. Okay, so the last class was my photography final. So this was called like COVID typography. We were basically supposed to create anything, like it didn't have to be photographs. Everyone else did photographs, but it was open-ended, like how you wanted to present it. And basically you were supposed to capture one of the emotions that she listed out. There were like fear, there was anxiety, there was isolation, like basically stuff like that. But I decided to create a short film that is up on my YouTube channel. So yeah, what I wanted to do was, as we all know, Donald Trump didn't want to create a panic, and so he didn't tell the audience, or he didn't tell all of us about the severity of COVID-19. And because of that, I wanted to kind of create a piece that shows how that didn't work. And so I used his exact words. I didn't manipulate them. I literally found news footage of things that he had said about the pandemic, and then overlaid them with my cousin screaming and panicking and all of that fun stuff. Alright guys, that is all I have for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a huge thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and comment down below which one of these pieces was your favorite, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!